Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of the Tournament Wrap-Up Show. I'm your host, Brian French, and we're coming off a rain-soaked weekend, and we still hope that all those moms had a great weekend, even though it's kind of dismal, kind of rainy. It happens, but we're here today to talk a little bit about some baseball and kind of wrap up the weekend, even though it was messy. I'm joined by my great engineer here, Justin, and Justin's going to take care of us today. We'd like to, before we get into our show, which we're going to talk today since we don't have a lot of action, we're going to talk about Game 7 Missouri rankings. But before that, we'd like to look forward to the Armed Forces Day Classic that's coming up next weekend. It's always a great time to take a moment to recognize those who have served in the armed forces, both in the past and currently. And it's only because of what these people have done that we get the privilege of even coming out and hanging out on a weekend and playing baseball and enjoying this great pastime of ours. And speaking of our great pastime, want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the top award, Cool Bats. Jeff Jones, thanks, man. We were able to, you can probably see on the screen here, we were able to get out Saturday morning and get the top award to our first recipient, Nolan Savoie, and his dad Brian there pictured. It was kind of, we were holding up, we got in the dugout to get a picture, and we got that to him. We were hoping to do that a little bit better, but you know, rain is, everybody was a little soggy. Wasn't it, Justin? Yeah, it was a little soggy. So, but thanks to Cool Bats, we're looking forward to being out and continuing to bring that award to to these young men that represent character and commitment to the community. And I think it's a great way to really show and to bring that to bear to these young men, that being part of the community and actually giving back as to the community is a great statement, helping these young men understand that that's as important when they come back from school, wherever. Most of these kids are not going to play in the major leagues after they come back from school. They're jumping into work and doing. How much can they contribute? And that character, that understanding of giving back to the community is huge for what we do in our society today. So I'm very privileged to have Cool Bats on board with us, and Jeff, again, thanks. So, hey, let's talk a little bit of team rankings here. We've got the 9 and under up here, and our top 5 in the 9UAA rankings is the St. Louis Prospects, the St. Louis Strike, and then we have the St. Louis Bears, Coach Nickerson's group. We've got the Ajax St. Louis Redbirds and the Mineral Area Orioles. And, they're Don Rogers' group, his major team, and this is overall. This has to do with AA, AAA, AA major, so this is all of them. So it's awarded on points. And the St. Louis Prospects that are AA, yeah, they're playing at their age level, but hey, they're accumulating points, they're winning, they're doing their jobs. They're 6-3. So, they've played in a lot of tournaments, and they're accumulating points by getting to the end, and that's, what you want to do. Rounding out the top 10, you got the Rawlings Tigers down there, and, St. Louis Forces down there, Rawlings Extreme. A lot of good teams. Coach Cunningham, we saw him out a couple weeks ago. They're 3-0. They didn't get a chance to. That's who we were talking about in the preview show, so missed out on a few things there. Let's go to 10 and under. And we've got right at the top of the 10 and under is Coach Sawyer and his Missouri Gators at 9-4, 630 points, with the Missouri Gators and Coach Manor right behind them in second place at 8-3. I know they got a little better record, but hey, those points, maybe you get one more semifinal or something like that. Makes a difference. St. Louis Force Elite, Rawlings Tigers, Rollo. Coach Rollo and his group. Missouri Gators, Carolina, Coach Rout. St. Genevieve River Dogs, always a good group. Diamond Stars, Rawlings Extreme, Coach Rogers, his major team. The Missouri Gators and Coach Holman. And then rounding out that, you got a three-way tie for 10th there with the St. Louis Naturals, St. Louis Strike, and the Rawlings Extreme. So that's your top 10 in the 10U rankings. And again, this is all of them, AAA, Major, AA. So, and in the 11U, right at the top is the St. Louis SWAT, 670 points, 5-2 record, followed closely by the St. Louis Force Elite. They're a AAA team, 7-4, and then you got the Union Wildcats, right there. Coach Calkins, AA team, 390 points. They're 7-0 in AA play, man. That's impressive. That's impressive. So they're in third. You got a two-way tie for third there. The Shield AAA team. You got the Eureka Wildcats right behind there at 6-2. The Coach Ebert and his Missouri Gators at 6-0-1. The St. Louis Ducks in seventh there. The 314 Apaches, Coach Culberson, his AA squad there in eighth, and tied for eighth with the St. Louis Bears. And then you got the Bandits Baseball Black, 11U AAA right there, finishing out the top 10. 12U, we've got the St. Genevieve Explosion at 10-2. That's a AA club. We saw them on that one-day tournament the week before Mother's Day, didn't we, Justin? And they won that tournament, 10-2, 630 points. They're a really good, solid AA team. Congrats, you're sitting at the top of the rankings there, Coach. Midmo Astros, 12U major team at 8-2. Very good club there. The Young Bucks in third right there. The St. Louis Force Elite. Coach Meddy, we talked to them. We had a great interview with those kids a couple weeks ago. Had a lot of fun. They're 9-3 in fourth spot. You have the St. Louis Prospects, another AAA team, in fifth. The Rawlings Extreme is 7-2-1 in sixth place. New Melly Tigers, Coach Burke and his squad, tied for seventh with the Missouri Gators and Coach Quills. Ninth place, St. Louis Gamers, the 12U Gray, major team. And then the St. Louis Prospects, Coach Thomas is in his AAA club. They're 5-3, and so great group there. The 13 and under, you've got Coach Craddock and his Missouri Gators sitting at the top at 450 points, 7-0. Looking forward to seeing them being out. You got the Scorpions, another AAA squad out of St. Peters, Missouri, at 5-0. You got the Rawlings Extreme in third place. Coach Smith, his AAA squad, at 8-2. And in fourth, the 314 Apaches, Coach Terrell, his AA squad, 5-5, played some good ball. They've played in a lot of good quality tournaments, good quality opponents. You got the St. Louis Prospects, another AA squad there in fifth. The Southside Prospects, another AA squad. And the 314 Apaches, Coach Culberson. So you got those two 314 Apache teams right there in fourth and seventh. And you got the St. Louis Eagles at 6-0. Out of Florissant, Missouri, in a three-way tie with the St. Louis Force, Coach McGee, who's 4-0, and the St. Genevieve River Dogs, they're 5-1, and then right sitting outside of that top 10 group there is the Rawlings Tigers and Coach Ropa. He's 3-1-1, good group there. A lot of good baseball coming up. Got some good squads there. And then in the 14U, Coach Johns and his Rawlings Tigers and Coach Gilmore and his Rawlings Tigers are 1-3 respectively, with a 7-2 record and a 5-3-1 record. Sandwiched in between is Coach Ledeck and his Prospects, AA squad there, 6-2, good-looking teams. You got another Rawlings Tigers. Is that Coach Deacon? Is that who that is, Justin? Yeah, 7-3. Got the Prospects Black. Coach and they're 7-0. You got the Missouri Gators 14U AA squad. Got a good solid. They're in 5th there, and then that was those two. Excuse me, the Black and the Gators. They're tied for 5th, and comes down to the St. Louis Bears right after that. And then the Diamond Stars, Coach Becker, 6-2-1. St. Louis Force Elite, Coach Evans. And then the St. Genevieve River Dogs, AAA squad, at 4-2. And I don't think we're going to see any 15U in this. I think we've gone through. So that's where we sit in the Missouri rankings right now. After, what do we got? So March, we're through April. Through the first week in May, what about 6 weeks in, 5 weeks in? Yeah, so we're about not quite halfway through. We got 9 weeks left of the summer leading up to the World Series, folks, and we've got a lot of good baseball left. We're looking forward to it. We're going to be out there doing some filming, taking that action, bringing it in here for everybody to check it out. And to remember, I don't think we've got it up here yet or on there, but the community page. Let's get that URL up, Justin. Hey, look, that's our URL for the community page that has the Game 7 video upload link. Make sure you get that video upload link on your favorites. So if you're out at the ballpark at a Game 7 tournament, you've got the video recorder, you've got your iPhone, you've got your Samsung, you've got whatever the case is, that you can take a photo or a video, and you've got a great play or something that's just fun, send it to us. We want to get it up into our highlight reel. We'll talk about it. That's what our preview shows, our wrap-up shows are about. We'd love to hear from the fans, and we want to bring that to everybody. So looking forward to that. You see it. There it is. And until we see you again, we'll be talking to you Friday. Tune in for the weekend preview for the Armed Forces Day Classic. We will see you all at the ballpark.